All right, Jen, thanks for taking the time to join us. I'm here with Jen Araneo. She is of Mind Body Hoboken in Hoboken. She helps manage stress and anxiety through major life decisions, and she's also a tremendously valuable member of our BNI Liberty chapter. And I would say I've also had great conversation with her personally, so I really appreciate that. I have my little daughter here on the side, so she would make some noise as well. So, Jen, thanks for taking the time.
Thank you, Jen, for having me here today. I'm much appreciated and excited to talk to you about what you do and some fun tips and tricks for helping your industry.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on. So a couple questions just to get to know you a little bit better. What is your superpower?
Okay, so I would consider my superpower knowing what's going on with people without them telling me. And not psychically or anything like that, just more of like, I don't know, just knowing.
Just intuitively.
Intuitively, right. And then they get all freaked out.
You have an X-ray into their heart, essentially. What about your kryptonite?
My kids, 100%. I help people manage their stress and anxiety, and then I go home. And then I have to try to apply those same principles at home. So yes, they can be my kryptonite, especially when it's their own. It's so personal.
That's a great answer. I think everyone could totally relate with something like that as well. I wanted to ask you a question when it comes to buyers. So, we're dealing with buyers, and, it's a major life decision as you in your description, or, how we describe you as you're helping manage anxiety and stress in major life decisions. And, probably the biggest one is going to be buying your home for the first time. It's probably the biggest purchase that you have. So what kind of questions would you say a buyer should be considering if, say, they have, let's just call it 2 homes that they're considering, and they just cannot make up their minds? Both houses have, great aspects and great something that they don't like. What would be a couple questions you'd be asking them?
Yeah, so I think that's a great question, because this happens all the time with buyers, right? They can't make a choice, even with renters, right? No, everyone's between either two places or 3 places, 4 places, whatever it is. And what I recommend to people is to actually see yourself in each place, in each home, and see it as your home. So that wouldn't just be walking in with your eyes open. That would actually be almost like meditating. You would close your eyes, you would imagine yourself in, let's say, the first home, see yourself in the kitchen, see yourself sitting down at the table, even going into the bedroom with all of your belongings there, going outside, noticing where your car is parked in the driveway. How does it feel to be there? And that really helps people connect within, because then they're actually living there in their mind. Their body doesn't know time or space when you do a meditation. So if you think you're in the home, then you can actually draw from yourself what it feels like to be there. And then you would ask them, like, what are some words to describe how you feel in this first home, and have them describe it, even if it's 1 or 2 words. And then you would do the same thing for the next home, or however many they were thinking about. And then at the end, you would take notes, what are some of the words that they used? And then at the end, then they would probably most definitely have a better sense of what feels right to them, or where they can see themselves. And they'll probably use words like, I can see myself here, or it feels better here. So they're using these kind of, these words that are really in touch with how they respond to the world, whether they feel it or they see it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm totally going to use it. That's awesome. Thanks. So actually, that goes into the last kind of question we have for you regarding realtors. I want to provide this also, provide your services to other realtors, my peers. From a realtor standpoint, you were a realtor yourself at some point in time in your life in the past. What kind of advice would you give to a realtor when it comes to understanding your clients?
Yeah. So I will say, for 2 years, I was working at the Hudson T building in Hoboken. So people would, this is what I noticed, is that sometimes the couples sound like they're not on the same page with what they're looking for. But a lot of times as realtors, you're kind of like therapists, even though not certified or licensed or anything like that. But they're telling you all of their information. So they're actually giving you everything that they're pretty much telling you all, whether it's facial expressions, body language, or they're actually using words. And what's I would say the core part of it is to figure out what their value is, right? What's their number one priority? Because people will come in, like people used to come into the T building and they would say, I want a view, right? I want a view of the city. And you'd show them a view of the city and they'd look at the space and they'd be like, well, this isn't the right space. Like, exactly. So what you think your main priority is not always what it is. So really figuring out by asking lots of questions will help you determine what their priorities are. And even, I think I said this before, like if a wife says, oh, I want to be on a cul-de-sac because it's safe outside. And the husband's like, yeah, but I want a bigger house because that makes me feel safe. We know that their common thread is safety, but now it's just marrying the two, the outdoor safety with the actual physical home safety. So it is, they're giving you so much information just by them talking and watching them interact. So really kind of drilling down to what their core priority is.
Yeah, I love that because couples, those are probably the trickiest ones. I always have show a perfect house for the wife. Husband doesn't like it. And you always have to balance between the two. So that's actually really awesome. So Jen, we've talked about before when I have situations where I have a client that's totally wrangling about a decision, or they've already made a decision, they're kind of backtracking. Happens all the time, of course. To have you come in and I'll say, listen, client, would you like me to get you a free consultation on managing stress and anxiety on big decisions in life, and have you come in and have a quick session with them, get them sorted out, and it'll probably make my life a lot easier. So I wanted to put that out there that we are working on that as well, but also understand that you have like candles and other things that you use in your practice that we can use as gifts or something like that. So what's going on with candles?
So yes, offering a 30-minute consultation where I can take them through the process of figuring out which house feels right to them, 100%. And then the other thing that we've talked about is I do have a candle business, and the candles are what I would call working candles. So when you come into a new home, sometimes people, depending on your background, religions, people bless their home, people put up little prayers, in front of their homes, like on the doorway, new home viewers. They're 100% soy essential oil, so they burn really clean. They're really nice. And it also helps, the energy of the home, right? So there's candles that say joy, there's gratitude, there's harmony. So sometimes it's nice to just have that intention out there for the candle. I know there's a Japanese woman who does tidying up, Marie Kondo. And when she walks into a home of her clients, the first thing she does is connect with the house spirit. So, however you want to do it, whether it's a blessing, a prayer, a symbol of your religion, or a candle, if you kind of just want to connect in a different way. I think it's a nice way to kind of get the space yours and ready for you and your family.
Yeah, I have the perfect client for that. Actually, we just went on the contract, luckily, and we were talking about feng shui and stuff like that. So I'm definitely making a gift some of your candles for them.
Oh, great. Thank you.
All right, Jen, I think that was it for me today. So thanks for taking the time. Really appreciate it. Any parting words?
You know what? I give you guys so much credit during this pandemic because, I know people are still buying, doing these virtual tours. So it's pretty amazing how you guys can still interact in this kind of space. And I was doing the best here. So give you so much credit, Jen.
Well, we have people like you to manage our stress and anxiety for those processes. So. Thanks again, Jen. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.